we've just had a fantastic opportunity to get together as many chiefs from all sorts of different nations, and one of the themes of the conversation was depth, not just depth as you might think about it from a geographical perspective, or depth from a capability perspective. But I think what we came away from the meeting was a feeling of depth from a perspective of understanding each other's skills, experiences, perspectives, cultures, what we all bring to the air power endeavour, and so while we might not necessarily think about that straight away, I think one of the main realisations was how important that is to all of us. We all bring something that's different. We can work together in exactly the same way, but we can also work together in a complementary way, and those are the things that I think are really help make us stronger together.
It becomes very clear how much we actually have in common, despite the fact that we may be at opposite ends of the globe. We still share a lot of cultural elements, but we bring different perspectives. So we're able to bring that to our operations, to our leadership, and to making sure that we're sharing the best practices we can with the air power.
And to me, it really comes down to the people. We are from different parts of the world in some cases. We have sometimes different equipment, but we have a couple of really key points of interchangeability, and it revolves around standards. Firstly, investing in high quality people and giving them really high quality training, having a high standard in aviation, particularly military aviation, so we can generate and deliver air power. And then secondly, having the same standards, the techniques and procedures that are so intertwined that we can respond overnight to an HADR issue in the region or around the world, or be flying in some other part of the world like we have in the Middle East in the past. And it's just a seamless integration to the point where we could be flying in each other's cockpits, so to speak. And you could name any number of stories that we would all have where those shared standards, shared qualities, and shared culture are just so powerful. We are constantly learning from each other, and whether it's on exercises, discussing ways of structuring our forces, the best mix of different generations of capabilities, working with our New Zealand partners as well, and literally getting to the point where our crews are flying and maintaining each other's aircraft. It's a constant evolution of learning from each other, and it does make us stronger together.
So if we can bring the collective efforts of all of our nations together and apply that together, then the sum of the parts, is actually greater than the whole. And so when you bring little bits to it that's different from each other, you can grow and get better. And so I think we see that across all of our nations and all of our air forces.
Well, I've said it before, we're living in a strategic autumn. So we have shared challenges in the region, but we have shared challenges globally. And so bringing together our capabilities, but also amplifying our capacity together by working so closely together and sharing those ideas and learning from each other, that's what this conference is all about.
I really agree with that. I think when we look at the shared challenges, it can be sometimes reassuring to know that our friends and allies are really going through a lot of the same things, and it speaks to the many things we do have in common, but it's also so important to celebrate the successes and to celebrate the opportunities, because I think that just puts us in a better mindset to then be able to tackle those challenges. And this is certainly something that we do on a regular basis, and I think it does absolutely make us all stronger.
We've just been speaking about how proud we are of the next generation of aviators that are coming through. We will look back in time on our small part in what is a long journey of air forces working together. And so if we can just do a little bit here to add to that, then I think that's a really important part of our job.
There are 1,001 percenters that we can add to our capability and to our capacity, and that sounds like success to me.